We heard Minister Howlin about an hour ago in the chamber say that we have to sell these assets because the conditions came with the IMF money. Now, I have to say, this must be the most successful and costly con job in the history of the world. We, the people of Ireland, bail out European financial institutions. The Europeans lend us the money to do it. And in return, we give them full control of our country. It's absolute madness. But I'd like to use the short time I have to address something else, which is this ideological debate about whether state assets or state organisations like the ESB should be run or owned by the public sector or the private sector. Now, on the left, we have this sense that the private sector is somehow inherently bad, and any private sector investment in anything will cause sort of cataclysmic failure across our country. And from the right, we have this position that says only the private sector can bring real efficiency. The public sector is inherently inefficient and inherently wasteful, and therefore they shouldn't be let run these things. Now, there's evidence for both positions. We see clearly from the sale of Eircom that the private sector, unregulated and left to their own devices, will strip assets and will underinvest in strategic infrastructure in the country. But let's look at the ESB, which is publicly owned. The ESB provides us with some of the most expensive electricity in the country, and in doing so takes that money and pays its workers some of the highest utility wages in the world. Now, people come in here and say the ESB needs to be protected because it's profitable. It's profitable because it charges the people of Ireland so much money. Now, I'd like us to move beyond this debate and say, what are we looking for from any state assets? We're looking for value for money. We're looking for high-quality services, and we're looking for good jobs, right? Now, both the private sector and the public sector are capable of doing this. The debate about strategic and non-strategic assets is incorrect, in my opinion. Our farms are pretty strategic. They are successfully privately run. Our mobile telephone network is strategic. It is successfully privately run. The ESB is strategic and, in my opinion, is not successfully run because it charges us too much money for what it provides. I think we need to move beyond this, and I would just like to make 3 suggestions to the government.
Sorry, Deputy, I don't think you have time in fairness to your colleagues.
Very quickly. Don't let the IMF tell you what you have to sell off. They are imposing a failed neoliberal agenda. Figure out where the value is and engage with the public sector and the private sector in who can provide the best value for money, the best quality of services and the best jobs to the Irish people.
Thank you. Maureen O'Sullivan.